Hey, I'm Ecker.
How are you?
So, you know what we're going to be doing today?
Talking about this weird Marvel game.
Yes.
Marvel, Diablo version.
Today we are going to be starting a new show, and it's going to be called...
I don't know, I forgot.
It's going to be called Freeloaders. We will be taking...
That's how important it is to me, I forgot.
We're going to be taking free-to-play games, at least once a week or so. We're going to be playing them for, insert arbitrary amount of time here. And we will be reviewing them based on the level of fairness that they have in whether or not
they're good.
Yeah, whether or not they're actually good games, whether or not there is a huge paywall. So, in the event that you can technically do all the stuff without paying in an easy and convenient manner. And all other aspects that we review games on. So sound design, level design, characters, etc., etc. So today, being our first episode, we are going to be doing Marvel Heroes. Let's start off with what you liked about it. Michael, what are some really positive things that you can say about this? Yeah?
I'm done.
Really?
It's an okay game. Kind of reminds me more of Diablo with Marvel characters.
It does remind me of Diablo, but I will actually be coming back to that later on.
And they have, what's the character's name? Throg in it.
Throg?
Throg.
Do
you know who Throg is?
Yeah.
Who's Throg?
He's Throg.
That doesn't
Throgdor! No, one of my positive things about it is that there's definitely a huge selection of characters, and it does constantly grow from what I've read. And sound effects. It grows constantly. It definitely affects the gameplay, and it doesn't necessarily seem like any one character or one build is OP as fuck.
I don't know. I'm playing as Storm, and she seems to be pretty fucking OP with, like, I can't say less necessarily crowd control, but she does a lot of damage.
It definitely seems like one of those games that's, when you're bored and you have nothing the fuck else to do, this is definitely one of those games that you would be playing on your spare time. The sound design, I will say, is absolutely incredible. I love the music. I love the way that the characters sound. Everything sounds crisp. All the attacks, everything involved with the way your character feels is really good.
Yeah, I could say it like that.
They definitely put a lot of time into designing the sound and the overall aesthetic of the game. It looks almost low poly count. Like, it looks like something that belongs on a PS2. In a sense, like the general design of the characters looks really low, low resolution, but it's kind of a nice thing. It looks smooth and clear, like someone
and gay.
Yeah. No, shut up. So that's definitely a really nice thing in the event that you like that kind of aesthetic. Everything looks like it's like it's almost Play-Doh.
Almost Play-Doh?
Yeah, look at the character, for example. Your character looks almost like she's made of Play-Doh. It's a nice look. It definitely fits the whole comic booky art style. I don't know if it necessarily fits all of the Marvel characters, but some of them are good. On top of that, from what I did experience of the story is there, and it's nice. It's the animation style of the intro cinematics.
I haven't played it yet, so I honestly don't care for playing the story. I just want to, be Storm and fucking shock shit.
Yeah, with the intro cinematics though, those were really pretty. They
were.
The regular 2D animation style was incredible. The 3D intro was definitely really nice. I enjoy hearing the watcher interact. That's always something that's a fan favorite. They definitely did a lot of pandering in this with the characters that they introduced at the very beginning. as well as they didn't fuck up Fantastic Four. So it's not their fault. Now,
Yes, it is.
a little,
Shh, don't tell them that.
a couple of things that we had problems with. Number one for me was that everything felt really, really, really fucking easy. When it came to fighting stuff,
Fighting like fighting who? I
like
don't know.
fighting anyone
You
from
didn't even play the game that long to figure out what you're fighting and who you're fighting.
no, like with fighting the enemies, it felt cheap and cheesy. Like everything could be one shot, or even up to 5 shot. It wasn't that difficult. Getting out of a shitty situation wasn't that hard, and the one time that I actually did die, it felt super cheap because like I got surrounded by a fuck ton of enemies, and they just immediately shit all over me, even though there were several other people in the vicinity of where I was, and they were just like, "You, fuck that guy," and I'm like, "Oh."
They're not supposed to help you.
I guess I'm supposed to deal with this.
Yeah, why would you want them to help you?
No, like the other people in the game, not, and there were other people there fighting on the same objective point that I was. So it was it felt like the AI was a little bit flawed.
Oh, you're talking about the AI didn't help you.
No. The AI came after me, just specifically me. All right. So when it came to the way that the AI behaved, in some points it was super, super predictable. In the sense where you knew exactly where they were going to move, you knew exactly what they were going to do. After experiencing one enemy type, you pretty much knew everything about everyone. Some of the enemies did have, extreme variables, but they weren't alive long enough for me to give a shit. Like when using Dark Souls as an example, the enemies all have patterns and they're very easily noticed. But in the event that you can just run through and one-shot the fuck out of all of these massive bosses that are supposed to be incredible and long fights, it kind of cheapens the whole experience. And that's what I felt this was. They're like, Green Goblin, super important. He's dead, like, right now. You Venom?
Yeah, I'm Venom.
Nice. And like I said, the character listing is very, very vast.
That's at least one of the good things.
The options.
I haven't played as all the heroes, so I can't really say, "Oh my god, this character's," this character's that character.
Yeah. But with your with the map and everything, with the way that you can travel around, there's a lot to do. It's got that going for it, but it's like if you sat down and did it, it probably wouldn't take you all that long. On top of that, with the massive...
trying to unlock the characters will take you long.
Well, unlocking the characters, but then again, that's also a bit of a paywall, in a sense, where you can unlock the characters. There is a way to sit down and grind out a fuck ton of, gems?
Something like that.
Insert arbitrary in-game currency here.
Yeah. What? Eternity Splinters or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna die. Should have been paying attention.
It's there are ways to get those, and you can definitely get them. The problem is you don't get enough for the amount of time that you spend on it. There are definitely a lot more. I wouldn't say pay to win. I'd say pay to actually do anything. Like it doesn't feel like when in the event that you need to spend money, it's not so that way you can gain more power. It's not so you can go on to the next level. It's so you can actually play. You can actually progress in some sense. And what is it? You get to play on a character until level 10, right?
No, I think you can play as, I think it was almost any character, but you can't get past level 10.
Right.
Or something as that nature.
So level 10 is officially the level cap. I think you can gain XP on that character all the way up to the point when it's almost at level 11, but you can't hit that level 11 mark. It locks. So then you have a choice. Either spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours grinding out these gems, or...
Which I think you get one every couple of minutes.
Right. But that's still not enough, especially with the amount that the characters cost.
Oh, I don't know. But there is a way that you can get a character for less, but it might not be the character you want.
Like random drops.
Yeah, it's like a random drop. Like for instance, I just got who was it? I think it was Captain Marvel. I don't know. I can't remember. It was some person and Colossus. In those characters would initially cost, I don't know, 300. I know some characters cost like 900 gems or something like that.
Right.
And I spent 175 gems for, well, I had like 500, so I don't know how I got 500. I wasn't paying attention when I was playing yesterday, so I don't know how long I was playing for yesterday neither, but
You played for a good hour, and that was 500 is a relatively good amount to get out of that, especially.
no, not necessarily, because I've been playing. I played longer when I wasn't recording, so
Right.
so. But you can. Oh, you want to play as Deadpool? Here's a random chance of you playing as Deadpool.
Another issue I had with the game was the loot system. This is very, very Diablo-esque in the sense where when you kill something, loot just magically fucking explodes from them, and that's cool. I'm totally okay with that. My big issue with it though is that it's not easy to fucking pick up.
It is easy to pick up.
When you have a mass drop of like
Granted, yeah. Then again, you
12
do have
fucking
to
items,
go
you have to go individually pick them
click
up.
on them.
Now there is a way to change that in your settings. You can just mass pick up the stuff around you, which is a godsend. I'm fine with that, but the fact that that's not auto enabled, I understand that you have a limited storage in your inventory,
And it is quite small, though.
yeah,
I'd
it
say
is.
that.
It's a very small, and as far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, there is no way to upgrade that.
Not sure.
I don't
think I've hit that point to where I can just upgrade. So
Yeah. So as far as I know, that relatively tiny inventory is not upgradable. Now I understand that Diablo did this in the same aspect where you have a limited amount of inventory to make you go back to town, repair your stuff, sort of sell your shit, so on and so forth. And that's always been in these kind of games. I'm totally okay with it, but the problem is actually getting the items. Another issue I had was that certain things aren't exactly easily recognizable as interactable objects. Chests being my main issue. With every other game like this, if you put your mouse over anything that's interactable, it glows. It shows, oh, you can do a thing with this. Chests in Diablo, chests in any other game. You look over it, it glows and says, hey, you can use this. That I have a bit of a fucking problem with. The only reason I found a chest was that it was glowing in the corner of my screen, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? Can I do a thing?
Can I do a thing?
Can I do a thing? So I went up to it, and then shit just kind of fucking threw up out of it. And I'm like, oh, well, I guess that was a fucking... Okay. Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck?
Let's see. Like I said, the character design is incredible. The sound design is incredible. It does feel a little bit like every character is not necessarily overpowered, but it feels like...
It makes you feel like they're overpowered.
I mean...
Because I played as Storm, and I felt overpowered as fuck.
Like, even right now, you're wrecking shit on these guys as Doctor Strange. The only reason why you're dying is because you're not fucking moving. Like,
No, then again, yeah.
The only way to die is to literally not fucking move. And that's not necessarily a good game mechanic. And the typical free-to-play thing is make your character feel like it's overpowered as fuck super early on. Make the person playing feel like they have something to gain. So early on, when you first start playing, you get those awesome little sound effects. You leveled up. You got a thing. You got a whole bunch of fucking gems for the first hour or so that you play. After that, is when
suck.
the fucking paywall comes in. And that's a problem. I understand that this is how these games make their money, but in the event that it's a pay-to-play, it's not free. And like you said, there are ways to access stuff, but it's not easily available. And that's, like, in the event that it was just as easy to pay for something as it is to access it, then that would be fine by me.
Because right now, I got a pretty good rosters of characters that I necessarily did not unlock. They're just there. Like, how many characters are there? But I don't know. I'd say about...
At least a good 20.
No, a little less than that.
So, using all of these things, what would you rate it, personally, out of 10?
Out of 10?
Mm-hmm.
At a game like this? I'd say I'd probably be lenient and I'll just give it a 6. I'd say 5.5.
I'd say 5.5, 6. The parts of the games that are playable, from a free-to-play standpoint, are super entertaining. It's something that you can waste hours and hours just clicking on your fucking screen and doing fuck all. You know, I would give it about the same, 5.5, and my main reason behind this is when you go to Google and you type in Marvel MOBA, the first 4 results are this, and this is not a fucking MOBA. It is a dungeon crawler / MMO.
Crawler?
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, like, that's kind of a fucking marketing issue. I don't know if the person in charge of all of that just didn't know what the fuck they were saying and used terms that they'd heard and that were really popular and were like, oh yeah, it's MOBA, because you have to click to move. That's clearly what a MOBA is.
Clearly.
No, fuck you, James, in accounting. I don't give a shit.
But he's James. Why would you be like that?
So, I would rate this about a 5.5 out of 10. Let's give it a 6, just because the sound design, the character design, and from what I experienced, I haven't seen any bugs.
Yeah, neither have I. I'd say I haven't really had any issues with anything.
Mm-hmm. And there is definitely enough content in the free aspect to keep you busy for a while. So it's not like there's nothing the fuck to do, which is a problem that we run into with free-to-play games. You progress really quickly, and then
you're done.
It's done, and then you have to pay for more stuff. So this was definitely a good experience overall, but it is not something that I would continuously invest time into.
I'm gonna laugh if the only reason I have all these gods is because it's Valentine's Day. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Actually, there are a lot of events that happen based on dates. That's another positive thing. So, thank you for watching. Be sure to like,
subscribe,
and share with your friends. Let us know if you like this format. Let us know if you enjoy the way that we talked about freeloaders. This is going to be an ongoing series. Give us tips, anything you want to say, constructive criticism, or just be a dick. I don't care.
It'd be cool just to see what you say.
Yep. So, thank you for watching, and...
Bye.
Bye.